I love Veritas. I've been here for 6 years. Each year I love it more and more. Veritas is a community of people that really care at a deep level. I think that's seen firstly in the parents and in the families that are part of our school. With families who are so supportive, our teachers are going the extra mile. And in the end, we have students who are serving each other, who are working hard, who are going on to do some great things.
When I go to bed at night, I breathe a sigh of relief because my kids are here. And when I walk up and down the halls or I'm able to help in the classrooms, it is so refreshing for me to see kids who are dressed with humility. They conduct themselves like ladies and gentlemen. It's an extension of the home. The kids come here, and what we expect of them at home is also expected here.
Part of our interest was in seeing our kids learn from a biblical worldview in everything. Because both of us went to college and knew kids who had bagged their faith. But we really felt like that was partly because their faith was not their own. Their faith was their parents. So we really wanted to see our kids learn for themselves why they believe what they believe in all walks of life. So big interest in Omnibus in particular, which is, of course, at the secondary level. And you don't get that anywhere else. Only in a classical school will you find Omnibus classes, which to me are the pinnacle of what the kids get out of a classical Christian education.
One of the goals in our education system is to try to move kids through developmental stages educationally. So I teach both in the logic and the rhetoric stage, which is in our secondary school. And in the logic stage, Dorothy Sayers' belief is that kids really begin to want to argue, to have their own opinion, express their own opinion. So quite often omnibus discussions attempt to really facilitate for the kids the opportunity not only to argue and to discuss, but to learn to do so well and winsomely.
I personally just love the teachers because I think they're amazing. Like, you can't get any better set of teachers than that you have at this school. Plus, I actually made districts for cross country this year, which was a really big step for us, as well as there are people who are going districts for golf. We've got basketball, volleyball. It's really nice that we have all the sports that we have.
I love, speaking in rhetoric and being in front of people, and I think drama has helped me with that and being in the different shows. And so, I think really the emphasis on the arts and classical literature and that sort of thing is really cool.
Honestly, to this day, my senior thesis is one of the largest works that I've ever written still. So when I went to college and I was writing, 10, 12-page papers, they seemed like a piece of cake. After writing a 50-page thesis, I was prepared for just about anything that my English professors had to throw at me. I was ahead of the game when it came to doing research and making arguments and writing papers than most of the people in my freshman English classes at Penn State.
So just the environment itself is a very welcoming, kind of open environment. It's also, the more we learned about the curriculum, for example, teaching things from a Christian perspective. So even when you're reading someone who's not necessarily Christian, like a Nietzsche, you find out what he had to say, but you also find out what was wrong with what he had to say. So that was very comforting to us.
The most wonderful surprise was the depth of the music program. I think here at Veritas, I was certainly aware that music was offered and art, but the depth and the talents that are present. And our daughter is now, she sings in the choirs and she's started to take some violin lessons. And she has had just an excellent background in music.
Veritas is really cool. There are a lot of really cool classes. Some of my favorites are Latin and science. Sometimes we fill a water bottle with water, and then we put in drops of food coloring to make the water a special color. Then we put in oil, and it's cool to see the oil float above the water because it's less dense. Really neat. And then sometimes we make baking soda volcanoes.
The first reason that I really have respect for what's going on here is the fact that it is both Christian and academically excellent. You get that package and you would assume that package would include very, very stuffy people in a very oppressive atmosphere. And this place is just a party. It's just fun. Every time you walk into this school, people are saying hi to you. There's something crazy, people dress up like Narnia skits or, It's just a very, very joy-filled, grace-filled atmosphere.
It is a joyful place, I would say.